Hey there, this is Dara, as in I dare you to speak with confidence. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to speak in meetings with confidence. Let's do it. Okay, I love to jump in right into my tips to get you going. And these videos are always short and sweet and right to the point. So today, tip number one in how to speak up in meetings with confidence is to believe in yourself. You know, gosh, I can't tell you how many people that I've coached who tell me they don't think they're smart enough, or they get a little nervous when they're speaking in public, especially if they're at work or in front of a really prestigious group, that they start to question themselves and doubt what they were going to ask or contribute. And really, it comes down to, can you believe in your message? Don't be so hard on yourself if you make a mistake or it doesn't come out the way you intended. Look, you are human and you've been speaking for your entire life, probably started at around age 1 or 2. So you've got this down, even if you think you don't. So have trust and faith in yourself and your ability to speak, and don't double doubt your message that you want to share, because sometimes I know I've done this. I'm in a meeting and I have a question I need to ask, and no, that's a stupid question, don't ask that. And we doubt ourselves, and then sure enough somebody else goes and asks the same question, and you're like, why didn't I just say it? All of us have a handful of rough spots when it comes to speaking, and we doubt ourselves and we start to question whether or not we're using the right language or saying words that sound intelligent enough, or maybe we say but I need you to trust that you are a great communicator. And when you believe in yourself and believe in who you are and what you're contributing and what you're sharing, it gives you a little bit more of an oomph when it comes to speaking. So when you walk into a meeting, give yourself a little bit of 30 seconds. That's all it needs to be of, I got this. I know my stuff. I am excited to share this content today. And then that belief stays with you when you intentionally create it to give you a little bit more courage. Just do what you got to do to remind yourself you already know how to speak. So don't doubt yourself and start letting the fear pop in, right? This is a real area for a lot of people. You can see the fear book in my background, Flip Your Fear. And one of the tools in that book is when you're really afraid of something, to not focus on the fear, but focus on the outcome and how it makes you feel. So feel proud of that you asked that question, or feel proud that you gave that presentation, or that you contributed to the meeting. And when you get yourself pumped up for that, that motivation will drive you to do it. Okay, now tip two is about believing in something, but this is your experience, your expertise. I know you are qualified. If you're working for somebody else, you passed the screening, you've been hired, you've been vetted. So you must be pretty good at what you do. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you've been in business for, well, if it's more than 5 years, I'm telling you that you are good at what you do, because you wouldn't last. Most businesses, up to 90% of entrepreneurs, fail within the first 5 years. So believe in your experience, all of it. You've been doing this work, or you've been researching your projects or studying this material since college. You know your stuff. Trust in your credentials, trust in your expertise, trust in your experience, trust in who you are, and what you bring is valuable. Now, unless you completely lied about yourself on your resume or fooled somebody when you were hired, then yes, you're going to have that imposter syndrome sneak in and tell you you're not good enough, because you probably deceived some people. But I'm thinking most likely that's not you. You have the qualifications, you have the experience, you have value to offer. So trust in your knowledge, trust in the opinions and things you need to share, even if it disagrees with what others are saying at that meeting. You could say, in my experience, I've noticed that this, or I beg to differ, that I've learned during my years of training, right? Don't be afraid to state what you know. How many times you walk out of a meeting going, those guys didn't even know what the heck they were talking about, but I was too afraid. I kept quiet. I didn't contribute. I didn't tell them the truth of what I know. So believe in your message and believe in your experience that you have enough to share, and share it with confidence. Okay, we have tip 3, and then we have a bonus tip. And before tip 3, I want to remind you to smash that subscribe button and be sure to give me a like or a comment so I know what areas that you're getting stuck so I can help you a little bit further. And tip 3 is about being practical of how to speak up in meetings. And there's a lot of videos I've done on this topic, so be sure you're checking out the entire video collection on the Dara Connolly Speaker YouTube channel, because there's a lot of videos specifically for how to speak up at meetings, because I know this is a heated area for many people. But let's say you're in the meeting and you believe in your message, you believe in your experience. Okay, Dara, how can I make this practical? Don't wait to speak. Speak up early in the meeting. Be the first person to say good morning, or great to see you, or I'm so excited that we're getting this meeting done today, not on Friday when everybody's leaving for the company party. Say something. Get on the agenda if you need to. Contribute early, because sometimes we get stuck and we start listening and then we can't find a way to interject, and it's really awkward now to come into the meeting because we were quiet the whole time. So find a way to get your voice heard. Ask a question or comment on something somebody else is sharing, but do it early. Don't wait 15 minutes in. The sooner, the better, so people see you as a talker, as a speaker, someone who contributes. It really does make a big difference. And when you're seen as a speaker, then it changes your mindset of, yeah, I'm the talker in this meeting. I'm not just the one who sits quietly taking notes. And they expect to hear from you. They start to respect your voice. If you look like you're about to say something, they'll turn and listen because they know you are someone who contributes. Additionally, when you speak early, it gets your voice warmed up so you're ready to go. It makes you less nervous to talk because you're not sitting there quiet and then all of a sudden it's you can't find your voice because you haven't talked in a while. So these are simple tactics that you can do right now. Start speaking early in the meetings. And I have lots of ideas. This is just, a little taste here. But if you want to go further with this, I'll tell you right now, add some clarity to the conversation. So maybe you don't know what to say, but somebody makes a comment. See if you can expand on their thought, or at least say, well, that's a really great idea, Marcia, or I love that you contributed that, Michelle, or John, I haven't heard that idea before. I appreciate it. Try to get involved into the group discussion, even if you're not the one leading it. How can you explore a new topic or comment on something somebody else is saying that may be helpful? The one who knows everything or be so brilliant that you can answer every question on the topic. But if you can add a meaningful comment to something that's being talked about, you are someone who is seen as a talker and a speaker and will be valued when you do speak. They will listen more. Okay, I promised you a bonus tip. And for today, the bonus tip that I want to share with you of how to speak with confidence in meetings is, are you ready? Stop worrying about others judging you. I know this is a hard one. Let that sink in for a moment. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but unless you want to work with me, and we'll do some confidence coaching, which is really the fastest path to get there so you don't feel the judgment of others. What I can tell you is that when you hear other people speak or other people interject in a meeting, what's going through your mind? Are you judging them, thinking, oh, that was so stupid, I can't believe she said that? Or are you just listening attentively, waiting to find a place for you to answer? Most people are not judging us because we're not judging them. Look, everybody's thinking about themselves. If you don't find yourself criticizing what everybody else says, it's unlikely that they're doing the same to you. So remember that when you worry of the criticalness of others, either you're a very critical person or you are so consumed on everybody looking at you that you've forgotten that it's all about the connection, not the perfection, which is the important message to remember here. Okay, we think we have time for a bonus tip. So let me drop one in for you right here. And if this is really something that you struggle with, you have a meeting coming up every week, every month, and it gives you anxiety because maybe you need to present or run the meeting or just sit there and it's like, nerve-wracking. I understand that. But I want you to visualize your confident self speaking with impact. Visualize it. What would that look like? So you got to get yourself in the framework of the outcome, and then we can get there. And if you can't yet imagine it because this is so far out of your comfort zone, then think of maybe a famous person you know that can handle this with confidence. Or think of somebody who at that meeting does speak with confidence. And imagine you are on equal footing with them. And you bring that image into your vision. And you bring that image with you when you go into the meeting. And you bring it into the conversation. So you are becoming that person. See, our mind works in pictures. This is why when we visualize things, or people who use storyboards or vision boards, it's more effective because we like to see pictures. So create a picture for yourself that is powerful and confident, and let that be the driving force of who you are to be. Okay, that was my quick triple tip with 2 bonuses, and I'm excited to hear from you. So be sure to comment which tip you resonate the most with. And if you enjoyed this video, then you're going to want to check out my next one, which is how to sound more professional when speaking. In the meantime, I can't wait to have you check out the club, or feel free to contact me if you want to jump on a free call to learn how I can help you a little bit more speak with impact. I cannot wait to meet you. And until then, you are amazing.